Pyramid One Radio. This is a Pyramid One International Network presentation. Good evening, and welcome to Pyramid One Radio. Your soul is an energy. Catch it. Nurture it. Love it. This is the now. Believe in the universe and say, I am. Let me tell you a little bit about the guest coming up. Actually the host, actually a friend, actually a mentor. His name is Jamie Clark, a person who is here to help the world. He was born in Ohio. Jamie had early signs in life that he would someday be helping people with his remarkable talents. As a child, he was concerned about being different from others. With that, he was going on in his mind. Through years of studying and a series of profound revelations, Jamie discovered that he had the gift of psychic intuition and could also communicate messages and feelings between people living and those who have left this physical plane of existence. In other words, he can communicate with those who we have loved and lost. Now, with thousands of powerful connections made worldwide and years of experience as his guide, Jamie offers this healing phenomenon to those who need it most. People searching for life, direction, and guidance, as well as those seeking answers and closure from family and friends that have passed. However, you can become fearless. Being in control of your destination has an empowerment. Our mind, ourselves, has the ability to create a future, good or bad, by having a read or attending one of Jamie's sessions. Not only can you understand where you are headed, but you can reprogram your future. And my favorite, to be yours. What's next? I say this all the time on the show. Jamie said it all the time on the show. Something that we believe in. Something that you should believe in. It's called unconditional love. Let me tell you some more. Unconditional love is a behavior and a feeling towards someone. Jamie says he's taught many the techniques of how to take action. Once you achieve unconditional love, your world, your whole world, will change in many, many wonderful ways. May I introduce to you, to the world, to the universe, a friend and a mentor, Mr. Jamie Clark. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You doing good?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Awesome.
yeah.
You can,
I feel like you know what happened. So I mean, it was
hey,
like been feeling like terrible for like days, but you never know. I mean, it's like
well,
it's just one of these things. We got to keep going. We got to keep going
Jake
on.
is going to pay you a visit, Bob. You know
Oh,
the difference between a dream and a visit. And
oh
he's
yeah.
still right at your feet
I
there,
know. He's right
like
here.
always, just looking at you like, right.
I swear to you, I am not kidding you. There, I left the pillows underneath here. But I took the
Beautiful.
pillows and I fell down. I made them all nice and nice and flat and everything else, right? There's a dent in that thing. It's-
Right, exactly.
I'm like, okie dokie. But
Or,
like I said to you, that was a very, very, very strong energy. Huge.
yes.
He was huge. He was the best buddy dog I ever had in my life. And you figure he never missed one show.
He still hasn't.
Wow.
Point.
Well, this time he's probably smacking me in the head going, hey, where's the bones? Where's the bones?
As a matter of fact. And so be open, because didn't you carry some of those? Do you still have some of
Oh,
those?
yeah, they're sitting I left them on the counter.
Okay, because I know you said the pillows, but he's vibing with, yeah, but you got the bones too.
Yeah, I got the bones too. Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
so let's bring on our guest,
Oh,
Mary
wait a minute.
Holden.
Before you do that, I've got calls coming in. I've got one call in the queue right now, but you can only take on a new Skype. You can only take one at a time. Oops.
Wow.
But the conference room that I can take 1,000 in, that one is up and running. So anyone calling in, especially the ones from 516, because that's what seems to be hitting here a lot. All you have to
Cool.
do is dial 605-472-5765 and then dial the code 608060 pound side. Just make the pound side, what do they call them? Hashed mark or whatever?
Yeah, hashtag, whatever.
Hashtag, okay. So it's 608060 hash mark. And you can get in here with everybody else and we can have a big party, a real big party.
We are
So
doing it now.
now it's
Hey,
your turn.
I want to bring our great guests on. Mary Holden is a third-generation Arizonan. Mary discovered her passions for reading and writing in her childhood. After 9 years of producing magazine articles, one novel, a collection of 26 short stories, and a chapbook in 2019. She's also celebrating 10 years as a freelance writer and editor. Not only that, she is also the co-founder of New 72 Media. And may I introduce to you Mary Holden. Mary.
Thank you, Jamie. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
very nice. I'm so glad you used the word childhood in the bio because we share a commonality in our childhood. We were both very blessed to have spiritual mentors. And I sent that to you as like the first question because I think that's where it all begins is childhood.
Definitely. And I think you, like me, when you're given that kind of a gift to just be you, that it's okay, that allowed me to thrive, especially for myself. My mentor, one of them, main ones, was my mom. For 20 years, we got to practice and send and receive that information. And now even from the other side, she assists me in doing what I'm doing. Who was one of your mentors? Who were some of yours, Mary?
It was my father's mother. We called her Grandma Goldie. She was born in Croatia and emigrated to the United States in 1920, where she met the man that she would be married to for 60 years. They had grown up in neighboring villages but did not know one another in Croatia until they had both immigrated to the United States. So it's an interesting story. But she would tell me stories of being a girl and tending the geese and working on the farm and seeing the witches who were able to transport themselves up into the trees. And she was mentored by her grandmother named Teresa. So this has been a lineage that was passed down. And as a child, I embraced it. I was a little bit scared about seeing a ghost, but for me, it was as real as everything else. So I know that your mother was not only a mentor for you in childhood, but you've created a tool with her help to help others tap into, others may not have been so blessed in their childhoods to have a mentor, in terms of understanding how we talk about things that are unseen. Could you tell me about that tool that you use that was passed on? I love this.
You know, Mary, that's exactly the point is, you know, for us and what we've learned, I wanted to share this with humanity in any way that I can. And so we've created the Psychic Evolution cards, the training deck, 7 different categories, 44 different cards, because in learning for myself in all those years that the more emotion, the more energy you put behind that sending of information, the stronger it gets. And so for my mom and I, we had such a variety of different pictures and different ways to connect that the Xenar cards are amazing. But it also created kind of a decline effect. It goes, yep, this is still here, okay, and then they weren't quite as using it. Now that we had the energy, the newness, and for me, I wanted to create pictures so that for me, when I see the lion, not only am I seeing the lion, but I'm vibing with, if I'm sending it, the circus, the Serengeti, all of those different dynamics that you can give multiple impulses of conscious thought to the receiver. And again, all they have to do is open up and receive. And then we have at least 20 different ways now to read the cards. And for those who know me, I'm creating videos. We're coming along the same way. Exactly. Beautiful. And I want to share with you, ladies and gentlemen, everything that I do. Here's everything. You don't have to listen, but it certainly worked for me. And that, to me, is the biggest gift that you can give yourself, is to, one, use the natural abilities that we all have. So natural, they're sewer natural. But not only that, making that connection, excuse me, to your guides, to your loved ones. And I'm sure Mary knows, learning to trust that information is huge. Was that a big dynamic for you, Mary, when you were training? What was going on?
Oh, I'm still training, still learning to trust, still watching others as they trust. But having having the opportunity to sit in sessions with you has made me trust my abilities even more. In the last session you did that I was fortunate to be at Storm Wisdom here in Arizona, I was getting a hit, and then I was hearing you say almost the same thing. And that's the big trust builder. And I would love for other people to be able to have that. It's one thing to have it after the fact, to say, why was I thinking about Joe the other day, and then have Joe come in for 3 days? Or why am I having the pain here, and have the brother call 3 days later and say, I just had a root canal in the same spot where you were having the pain. But to have live action, one-on-one, right there in the room, getting tapping into that same kind of energy is what really builds the trust, and is such a grace, Jamie. It's such a grace.
Definitely.
People coming late to being open to using their intuition or tapping into their own psychic powers. Again, we were lucky in childhood. What's the best way to get around that curve that you and I were so lucky to have as children? How do you dive right into it? Are there psychic ups and downs that you yourself go through that other people can expect to go through? Are there times when you're not feeling it so much, or you've turned it down? Or is it something that's always present?
You know, excellent question. And it's always present. You never turn it off. You just turn the volume down. But in doing this my whole life, I've learned to set parameters, my rules and regulations, to go, ladies and gentlemen, we're a team. You will work with these rules and regs so that we're a team. Otherwise, I'm not going to take the crap. And knowing that. But I also want to say, Mary, exactly what you were saying is receiving the information at basically the same time. You got pretty much verbatim, the words for word, and it said. Now, I've done scientific studies and all that, as you know. Excuse me. But in one of those, we were fortunate enough to have a number of days, almost a week, at a person's mansion over in LA, where we did some of the scientific studies. And as we were presenting to some of the scientists there, I'm sitting there, and we had the person who owned the house. He was graduated. He was on the other side. But as they're introducing him, I heard before anything was said, it was Nicola, Ricola. And then 2 seconds later, Suzanne was saying the exact thing. That to me was a huge validation of the neural soul way. Like we have a neural pathway for information of the brain, a neural soul way for universal communication. And as you can see, pretty much verbatim, those words were there. And that's exactly what I went through. And, being able to put more solidness to this, the spiritual, man, everything's spiritual. How are you going to place upon it? And Mary and I, our job is, one, to give you tools and techniques, insight if we can, and give you some information, a little opportunity to go, no, we've been through that. I understand. And it can be uneasy. It can be scary and frustrating because we all want to be right. But from the beginning, lighten up. Have fun. If you approach this with a light energy, it will stay light. And what's really cool is I am seeing over the past number of years so many more people coming to be trained that are in their 70s and 80s of years of wisdom that are going, it's psychic medium stuff. This looks fun. And bam, they're amazing. We give them tools and techniques. They start using it and they surprise themselves. For me, I equate it, playfully, but like, man, I'm slow but sure. I had to do it my whole life to do this. I see so many more people clicking in. And not only that sometimes these dynamics, when we have our loved ones pass or graduate, that sometimes will click your abilities on because you've got such a strong connection, you're hypersensitive to that energy. So for that, I always say, as you know, always be skeptical, question everything. Just be open. Otherwise, you become one of them. Man, it's the same old information, but in an updated way. And Mary and I, as we've known each other, and I've seen her a few times, she is awesome. You've got a great energy. You're very insightful, very down to earth, and you're about humanity as well. I appreciate and respect that because together, the more that we can do this, the more people can open up. It becomes that tipping point. 51, we're on.
That's my goal, Jamie. I have been fortunate to work as a writer and editor, and I have worked with a lot of psychics actually on their books. One of them was from the Los Angeles area, and she came to visit me shortly after my father had passed away. I went to pick her up at the airport, and the first time I had met her, and the garage door wouldn't go up. It wouldn't go up, and I said, I so apologize to have something go wrong with my house when you're here to work on your long weekend for your book. And she said, there's nothing wrong with your garage door. I'm hearing the name of your father, and he is holding the door down so that I can make a point that he knows what's going to be happening with us this weekend. And as soon as she said that, the door went up without me even getting out of the car. So getting information from people who have extraordinary talents like you, and that was Amanda Daniels out of Los Angeles who came to work with me. I know that you receive information from elsewhere, and when you want to put it into words, into a book, to get it out into humanity, it's very important for me as the editor to make sure all of those graduates spell the words right. It can be channeled through you, but one of my big challenges is knowing that it's information that's actually coming from a different energy level, from beyond the one that we are used to, and respecting that and listening to that come through. There have been so many books that have been written. The Billy Fingers book, about the baseball kid, and so many others have come across for us in the world of literature. And I know that there's a lot more out there that's coming through. Do you have a book in you?
I do. I actually have quite a few that I've had stored for quite some time, and a number of dynamics, Secrets of the Soul, Soul Frequencies, and a few other titles that I'm going to be filling in. And some of that is dealing with, my own life experience and what it got to be here. But not only that, having the honor to be able to work with other scientists from around the world to help validate this connection that we all have. And I think that when people can see you using your abilities and you're comfortable with it, then it's like, well, you're not so scary. You seem pretty nice. And that communication, man, I've not heard that. I hear voices once in a while, but man, I hear voices all day long. People seek me out for it. They don't fear me. There are some sane people in the insane asylum that just don't understand what's going on. And so to be able to embrace that and give that connection for me, because this is not only what I do, this is the essence of who I am. I don't know anything different. And to have this fun and meet great people, and I have a feeling that Mary and I might be doing a project or two together, and it's going to be very interesting to make that connection. And again, our loved ones are always communicating with us. It's not like they're going, you done brushing your teeth? Something better to do. Man, they're having fun, but as soon as you think of them, you're tapping them on the shoulder. That is a big gift, huge. And may I ask, Mary, what is the book that you wrote? What was it about?
I just wrote a novel that I didn't publish. I only wrote it so that I would understand all of the energy that goes into a book, and I would respect that for all the books that I was given to edit. That and the book of short stories. And I have a writing practice anyway, so writing is just something I do. I very much appreciate being able to do this work, and one of the things that I edited a book about the fact that there are now 5 generations in America's workplace, sometimes 6 generations. A 72-year-old who's been staying on the job might be working next to an 18-year-old. So the group of baby boomers born between 1946 and 1962 are the largest population of humanity that's ever been on this planet before. So as we age, and as the people that we knew and loved in our childhoods pass on, we are actually the biggest quanta of humanity that is able to tap into that longing for those that we knew who have passed on. I think that there's never been a better time on this planet to tap into and to be aware of the kind of spirituality that you and I are talking about. And one of the things that is so important to me as an editor in bringing this out into humanity so that, no, it's not scary, is that for so many years, religion and religious oppression has held this type of information back, making humanity believe that it's from the devil, and only the people who had power in the church were to be trusted and believed. That seems to be going away, yet that creates sort of a sea, a drift. How do we, if we can't trust the church anymore, how do we know what to trust? So someone like you who comes along and is able to demonstrate abilities like this to show people the accuracy with which you work and the accuracy of the energy, because it's all energy, right? Takes all of that dark cloak away from this and puts us all into really a better platform to deal with one another, to be more honest with one another, to be more sensitive and compassionate to one another, and to communicate better with one another, recognizing the stories that we're living out now and appreciating the stories that were lived by our loved ones who have graduated and gone on.
And I see that so much lately, Mary, exactly like you're saying, is their hunger and their pain is outweighing their fear of condemnation from the big guy, he, she, the all-encompassing oneness. But, you know, I'm just me. But as they come to me and some are like, I'm like, man, you'll see, this is so natural, it's supernatural. But within that, you know, because they don't know quite what to expect. And I always like to make them, you know, a little bit more comfortable. So I'll say, you know what, let's just get a basic meaning of mediumship. To me, a basic meaning is to consciously connect with a being, a spirit, an entity outside of the physical body. These? And we're like, yeah. Like, okay, so with that very definition, if you talk to God, Jesus, the angels, you're doing mediumship. And I'm willing to bet with that particular style, you're hoping and praying for life-changing miracles and instant communication. Now, how are we viewing that? And yeah, and when they can, you know, sit before me and go, God, I've never done this before, but then leave my presence feeling amped, connected, and loved, that is my high, man. I'm like a crackhead for my spirituality. More readings! This is good. I get the healing just like I give. I'm not stupid. I need it. Watching my whole family go one by one every 2 years from cancer, ooh, that was tough for me. So I was like, you know what? If I can't help my family, I'm going to help this entire planet and myself. And I'm doing it. And that's huge, huge. and then realize the unconditional love of the universe that is always for us and never against us. As I've acquired, a little bit more knowledge and information, all these natural laws that work within the universe that kind of, everything's organized as it is. But for that, discovering how we create and co-create a life together, more so. Through the thoughts, through the attention to those thoughts, and through the vibrations that you send out, you'll bring more things into your life with a similar vibration. And learning that, like Mary, everything's light, frequencies, energy, and vibration. You just learn to read it. And within that, the more comfortable we can get people to relax and enjoy this, the more open they'll become with their abilities. Because I am only open and safe as I do this. You will put your own parameters around it, but make your own rules and regulations. For those who are just kind of getting into it, but they don't know what to do, I'll have them go to my website and check out some of the videos that I have, or go to YouTube and check out videos in that way so that you can kind of get a flavor. Something works on that, something doesn't. But also the ability to start trusting when they're making that connection, because a lot of people are like, well, I don't know if it's me making stuff up or if I'm getting some kind of connection. I'm like, well, you know what? Here, excuse me. The difference between mentally wandering and wishful thinking and when our loved ones are communicating with us is this. When we mentally wander, it tends to come from the inside out. Like, okay, all right, that's mentally wandering. But when we're communicating with, it's like this. Boom! They tuned you in. That is usually your loved ones. That is the biggest key, is trusting when they shift that to be open for it, big time. Mary, do you want?
Would you like to take a couple calls?
Yeah, please.
We have somebody there from area code 605. So I says to myself, area code 605. Who's on the line?
Hi.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm good.
Okay, I hear you. You know who's here, don't you?
Excuse me?
I said, you know who's here, right? Jamie's here for you.
Yes.
Say hi to Jamie.
Here. Hi, Jamie.
Hey, what's your name?
Sherry.
Sherry. Cool. Sherry,
yes.
Mary. Mary, Sherry.
Hi,
boom.
Easy.
So,
nice to meet you, Sherry.
Hi. So what's up, Sherry? How can we assist you?
So I just am looking for some kind of guidance on some stuff that's going on in my life.
Okay. Do you want to target anything more specifically, or what would you like to see?
Something, it has to do with one of my kids.
Okay.
Like,
sometimes there'll be a...
Go on.
Bob, is it me or is it
No. It's the phone that she's on is cutting in and out.
Okay. I apologize, Sherry. I'm like, I want to hear
Sherry,
what you're saying.
Just keep calling it. It'll keep going.
Okay.
Okay. So, Sherry, about your child, your son, what would you like to know more specifically if you're able to open up for that?
Like, am I doing right by him? Is there like a spirit guide or somebody out there that can tell me I'm doing right? Here's
the thing, and it's not always what you want to hear, it's what you need to hear. And I will tell you, your people on the other side feel very straightforward. Also, you do use your abilities decently. So the good thing is you are coming from the heart and soul, doing the best you can. The great thing is you are making a difference. Sometimes you got to be the hammer to, sometimes get people to pay attention. I kind of feel like a little bit of that is, what may have gone on to go, I love you, I can't do it for you, but doink, you know what, let's do this. Excuse me. And for that, you can help your son to help himself. And what I mean by that is it's not manipulation. You're not going to go into a trance and, I will. No, it's nothing like that. But, excuse me, it's as subtle as this. Tell me there's never been a circumstance in your life that you're just sitting there relaxed and all of a sudden this nice feeling boom, comes over you. What if that was an energetic sending from somebody and you didn't go into a trance? For us, and the dynamic is you certainly are understanding what's going on with your son, apparently. Now, we're not ignorant, but the challenge becomes that most of us will focus on the problem to try to change the problem. And what we don't realize is the more we're focused on the problem, the more you're going to get the problem. For me, I understand, circumstances, and I take my own medicine. But if I have this person in this way, when I think about them, I'm going to put a new vibe. Happy, healthy, good communicator, wanting to live life more than survive it. Those kinds of connections, again, you're not going to make him do anything, but the closer you are, whether it's a familyship, friendship, relationship, the stronger that connection is. That's why people that have been together 50 years are finishing each other's sentences. They're on the same channel. Everything is frequencies and energies and channels. You just learn to read it. So for this, yes, ma'am. And has your dad passed, Sherry?
Did you what?
Has a father figure passed for you? Because there's a father figure on the other side already. Nothing coming up.
My father-in-law just passed.
Like real recent, correct?
Well, about a year.
Okay. That to me is sooner. I usually go 3 or sooner, but a year is good. Now, in addition, because he feels very straightforward, nice guy, but ding, 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 not what you want to hear, it's what you need here. For that, also having some flexibility with whatever the dynamics are with your son, okay, because what the gentleman makes me feel like is that he's starting to get his bearings again. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, and it's not easy, but what I would love for you to think about doing is, I don't know, take a minute or two a day and let's recall a circumstance and experience in earlier years where he was happy, where he was fulfilled, open to the communications and connections. And even if you stay there for just a second on that channel, you're on that positive, productive channel. Not ignorant, you already know that there may not be always the productive circumstances. But for me, I'm like, is that the problem? Here's the solution. Because I lock in on this and this entrains up to the solution. I've seen just my whole life. But when you can do that and don't say anything to your son, don't go, and I'm sending you energy. Nah, prove it to yourself to go, you know what, I'm not going to say a word and I'll take some time, if you're willing to, Sherry, and give it a little bit of time, a couple of weeks to a month. Okay, because that vibe of energy and connection and compassion will be strong enough that it'll be like, you know what, I'm in a great mood today. And you'll be like, friggin' A, now. And there's this kind of opening up to life again from the father figure that comes through. Make sense?
Sherry, does your son suffer from anxiety?
A little bit, yes.
So for what it's worth, all I've gotten is that there are a couple exercises that you can do to settle the anxiety down in the body, and it's left right brain centering. So if you cross your right, if you get him to stand up and cross his right ankle over his left, and then put his arms out and the left arm over the right, clasp hands, and then bring it up to the sternum and take 3 deep breaths. That helps reset that anxiety level that he may be suffering from. I hope that helps.
Okay. Yeah, I will try that.
Excellent. And when you can get a reaction, you get some kind of difference. Okay, wait a minute, he hadn't done that in a while. All right, I'm going to take 3 minutes a day now and see that. And again, the more that you can hold that vibration of that positive energy the best that you can, he'll start to vibe with that, lightening up a little bit. And I kind of feel like, excuse me, I don't know if someone is or was 19 years old when something happened. Otherwise, the 19th day of a month, it could be any month, but the 19th day will be a birthday, anniversary, death anniversary, or something major. And the father figure from the other side is funny because it's like, as Mary was sharing, he's like, he's already crossed his feet. He's tripping over himself. Does that make some sense about the father figure?
Yeah.
Okay, because you got a playful but very direct energy, like, right? Okay. Now, in addition, I got to say, you opening up again, we cannot do it for them, but I also feel like your son might be looking at you to make sure you're okay. Okay, because you're strong and you've got it usually together, so people don't know how to help the one who helps everyone else. They'll offer, if there's anything I can do, Sherry, I'm here for you. And they mean it, they just don't know how to help the one who helps everyone. So for this, you know, it's that don't be a hypocrite then. If you're going to help others, you'd better be willing to help yourself. And now, you know, for me, I've learned that the more love, compassion, energy, and attention I give myself is no longer narcissism, it's self-realization. cannot give what you do not have. And most of us run on empty. And so for me, I had to do this for myself. I will always help others, no questions. But I also keep myself included now. Because for most of my life, I'm like, good, no, I can have everyone else but me. And then you do that enough, at least for me, the very thing I was doing for others, I was starting to get irritated at, like, no, that's great, I'll help them, but my turn. I would like some insight and clarity. And that kind of a dynamic, once I opened up, it wasn't weakness, it was empowerment. That as much as I help others, I'm open for others to assist and help me in some way. A different perspective, a loving hug, a kind word, what? Just being open for that. So Sherry, if you're okay, and just like Mary's saying, give them those tools and techniques and see what the reaction is. Because some people, and I've seen this, where, they're not necessarily into this stuff, but they'll be given a few tools and techniques. Oh, they're hooked. Once they get it, now it's real. Because, you can talk all day long, but if you haven't experienced it, good for you, but I don't know.
Yeah.
For me, I need to experience it the best that I can. That's kind of what's going on now, is you're giving him the tools and techniques, little by little, to start finding himself within life, not so much losing himself to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So can I ask you another question?
There's also the thank you prayer. So practicing compassion and gratitude with everybody that you come in close to. The thank you prayer is very quick. It says, thank you for giving me good work to do. Thank you for showing me how to do it. Thank you for giving me a good life to live. Thank you for showing me how to live it. And the most important is, thank you for giving me good people to love. Thank you for showing me how to love them.
Beautiful.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I've learned that with that beautiful statement and those prayers, in addition, if the only prayer you pray is thank you, that's enough, because vibrational match back, it will give you more things to be thankful for. And those natural laws are how we've come to see things as karma. And to me, I'm not so into the karma. I'm into the natural law of cause and effect. Cause your thought, affect your reality. Those who talk about lack are living it. Those who talk about abundance are living it, and you don't see successful people going around saying they're a failure. And I think more than likely, well, at least for myself, I've been doing this my whole life. But when I was in that helpless mode that all I could do was watch my family go, man, that clicked it for me to go, I need to heal too. Because again, when I couldn't do anything for them. I couldn't do anything except let them go.
Yeah.
But with that, it was a huge awakening that I realized that it's okay to give me that the more love, compassion, energy, and attention, again, it's no longer narcissism, self-realization. Now it's like, okay. And people, when you've been through your crap and you could speak about it and maybe give others some insight or possibly some tools and techniques to help them, that's a win-win. That is my job, is one, had to be able to help myself. Two, now I have the ability to help others. Because otherwise you're just talking.
Grief can be a big gateway drug to spirituality.
Beautifully put. I like that. That's great.
I love that one.
So Sherry, take a little bit of information, and you can play this back because it'll be archived, but trust what you feel. Give it an opportunity. Here, do you want to have a little bit of fun?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm like, yes or no. Perfect. But what I would love for you to do is for the next, 5 days, okay? I want you to write down 10 different things each day that you appreciate about your son. Only the good stuff. And then watch, because now you're going to get parameters around it to go, oh yeah, and I remember, I also appreciate that, and I love the way that we had this. And that kind of an energy is not only going to be a mental impulse sent to him, but your whole vibe, your whole energy is going to shift. And it becomes that subtleness that, those thoughts are magnetic. And that's why when you think of things in that, or when you first meet somebody, that personal magnetism is either, man, I love your energy, or I don't want to get to know you. You don't have to say a word, but you'll feel their energy. That's the point. Everything's energy, and those vibes can transfer to other people. For me, that's that tools and techniques. Can't do it for you, but I will certainly do it with you. I love you, and here's everything I do. Make it your own.
Okay, now if she wants to find that anywhere, just go to www.pyramid1network.com and click on the picture of the pyramids. When you hit that picture, you'll go right over into the landing page and you'll be able to see this show live on the video.
Right. Yep. Okay.
Hey, Mary?
Yes, Jamie.
We're going to have to do another show. You know that.
I'm happy to do that. I'm loving this.
Because, if I may share, you also have a little scientific fun that you tend to work with, and maybe some insights and some universal truths and perspectives that I think are very, very valuable. And we can say that for the next show. But, I think people getting to see you in action, Mary, you're very down to earth, you're very insightful, very intelligent, and very compassionate. It's when you can have those qualities that are like, okay, you know what, Mary, I'm talking to you, and I don't feel like you're judging me. Your eye twitching? It's that thing. Go, no. And when they can open up and they feel that safety, that's huge. Because I'm very honored and thankful. I have a lot of people that come to me going, I've never said this to anybody, but I'd like to. And I'm like, yeah, and I've done that and many other things in other lifetimes. And when they can feel that genuine receptivity and compassion to go, share it, and let's see if we can heal it. That's the point. It's all about love. It's all about the empowerment of who we are as a spiritual being. Yeah, let's take another call.
I hope. Let's see. Come on. I love the way these things work.
Skype is interesting. It's been changing a lot, just oddball things.
Yeah. Hi, do we have somebody on the line? Hello? Yeah, there we go.
Oh my God, yay.
Oh, yay. I knew it. I knew it. Somebody was going to go, ah!
Yeah. Hey, what's your name? Who is this?
Nicole.
Hey, Nicole, a pleasure. And this is Mary. So what's going on? How can we be of service to you?
I was wondering if you could connect with my cousin who's passed on.
Mary? You getting anything?
I heard the name Nicole, and I was picturing Nicole. Yeah, a beautiful soul with dark hair. I'm not sure if you have dark hair, Nicole, but I'm going to leave the cousin to you, Jamie.
Yeah, as this gentleman comes through, it comes from him, but it doesn't have to be about him. Okay, that's why I always make sure you know who information is coming from, not just, and they're saying, exactly, Mary, tune in. You got it. But within that, this dynamic, as he comes
it's a male.
through.
It's a male?
Yeah, it feels like it is. I don't know. Isn't that what you were asking?
Well, my cousin's a girl, but I don't know who could be coming through. There could be other people.
Yeah, there is. Because at your cousin, I hear that, but there's a male who steps forward. Now, as this male steps forward, doesn't have to be about him, but it's coming from him. And if your cousin, that's a she, did not have this, he is acknowledging the person who already had. And that's an impact. When they come through with an impact, to me, that's usually a gunshot, car, boat, plane, motorcycle accident, somebody fell from something or something fell on them. And from the young lady, okay, I just feel like my body's shutting down. I just feel like boom, 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 done. Do you understand that at all?
Yes.
Okay.
I
Now,
understand the girl, but not the male.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Just I always make sure here who's who it's coming from, and whoever this male is, don't worry about it. But someone's like Danny or Daniel, so just remember that name out of all the names on the planet. But in addition,
oh my God.
I'm sorry.
That's my dad's name, and she was on that was my dad's nephew and her brother, they were really close, and he was telling me about her the other day.
Please tell him that she loves him, and she's going to pay a visit. Again, the difference between a dream and a visit is the clarity. A visit will be ingrained in your soul. And your cousin, she comes through playful but direct, man. I'm like, dang, she boom, 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 boom. Makes sense?
Yes.
Okay. You know, and our job in doing this is I'm always honored, but I'm humbled because it's what we all can do. My job is to become more evidential in this information, meaning getting personalities and characteristics and the way they would be and how they would say it. They'd be like, that's how they used to be. And I'm like, that's how they still are, right? I'm just mimicking them. I don't know them. They're like, yeah. So it either becomes good guesswork or, you know, something to it. The biggest gift you can give them, Nicole, is to connect with her in this case, like she's connecting with you. And in addition, she's doing a moth, an M-O-T-H validation for you. If you haven't had a moth in a playful, oddball way come into your house and bug you, you're going to. And when that happens, whoever your thought first goes to, in this case, it'll be your cousin. But whoever it goes to is usually who it's coming from and has their individualized soul print. And it's not like our loved ones are driving the moth around or the bird, but I equate it when birds are in a flock and they all turn at the same time. They're all on the same channel. Don't kid yourself. All these channels are playing, and just because you're not tuning in doesn't mean it's not. Your job is get on the soulscape of awareness, that unified oneness. And she appreciates the honor. I don't know if somebody was talking about a tattoo or they're going to get one, but I need to acknowledge a tattoo reference.
Yeah, I was going to get one for her.
She's like, well...
Oops.
Woo! She's direct, man.
Now, just don't ask where.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Right.
Nicole, I just said to Jamie and Mary, I said, don't ask where.
You know, I don't know if you were thinking about the upper shoulder area, the upper back, but that's kind of where it vibes. So doesn't mean you have to, of course. It could be anywhere. But for some reason, it's that kind of symbolic of, hey, you always got my back. You're always right here with me. Boop. Exactly. And she's, your cousin, I guess, is very glad that you're starting to open up to life again. You're very nice. I know that. And I'm sure everything's amazing. But, you know, sometimes you got to pull back and regroup, which is what I feel like you've been doing for the past 3 months. And in that kind of a connection, you know, now we're going to start to find ourselves within life, not so much lose ourselves to it. And the biggest gift we can give them is to live, not just survive. Does that help you some?
Yeah, I was just wondering one more other thing. I feel like I keep getting signs from her. Like, I'll see numbers, or I'll just watch, like, videos on YouTube about spirituality and connecting with spirit stuff, and I feel like she's trying to send me signs, and I just don't know what she's trying to tell me. And just a way if I could figure that out, like what
she's looking
advice.
at you. You're doing it. You're making the connection. And you called in the show, and apparently you're kind of surprised that you actually got through. Well, guess who gets credit for you calling and getting through? Exactly. They're not going to make us do anything. They'll line things up as the potential interaction, and we'll choose it. They can help you to help yourself. And notice you're like, I don't know. I think she kind of given me some validations through numbers. And, well, how do you know? Oh, because I feel like it's her. Oh, really? That's exactly who it is. We're a soul print. Like a fingerprint, we're unique. I call it a soul print. Never the same in anybody. We're all uniquely one. Your cousin's like, hey, nice set. That was weird. And she says, thanks for lighting candles. So I don't know if you light candles, but I need to acknowledge thanks for lighting candles.
Oh, her mom does.
Cool. Please let her mom let her know she's in a great place. There were other people around her same age, like 3 other people who were there to meet her. Okay, so without being too general, because there's a lot of people, but nope, she's giving me like 3 basically at her same level. So maybe friends or people basically at the same like age area, but right around the same. And 2 and 1, like 2 were similar, 1 was different. Whether it was 2 had similar circumstances and 1 had a different circumstance, or 2 were females and 1 was male, or vice versa. But 3 out of 1.
Nicole, do you have a talent? Do you sing or paint?
Yes, I sing.
Of course. That came through very strongly, and I kind of feel like I want to cry a little bit because the cousin loves it when you sing. And something about your voice does reach across the veil. So keep singing, my friend. It's very important.
And not only that, were you thinking about writing a song or a poem?
Yeah. Oh my God, I write songs all the time. Yeah.
Beautiful. She's very much aware of it. And, the great thing is, Nicole, we don't mean to be flippant, but it becomes more validating and go, yeah, but we don't know you in any way that I'm aware of. I can't see you. I can hear you, but we're not playing on physical cues. And as you can see, your people are usually pretty accurate. And out of 7.5 billion people, they know who you are, which is like we have an IP address on the internet web, SP address, a SOAP address on the universal web.
And don't forget, you're also almost 3,000 miles away from each other.
See, through the internet, we're right here, right now.
Yeah, I think, Nicole, I believe you're in, let me take this out of my gut, Nassau County?
Yes.
Bingo.
Look at you.
Long Island.
Bingo. Long Island already. Long Island, yeah.
So, Nicole,
so listen,
kind of
what
a
do you want to
flavor.
hear from me now? Hey, listen, hey.
But in addition, from your cousin, she got this to happen. And not only was it one person to share, you have 3 people, Mary, Bob, and myself, that are able to share some information and validations to go, really? Well, we're all tuning in, but this is what we're vibing with. This is what she's giving or what I'm feeling in the gut. That strong energy. Psychic and mediumship are the same. The only difference is a psychic read is in the physical body. Mediumship read is out of the physical body. Both are soul prints of consciousness that send us information. Kind of thing. Something like that. Does that help you, Nicole?
Yes, it does.
She's like, yes, yes. And she's standing there shaking ashes.
The connection though I had with her, and that because maybe it was the voice, or maybe it was just what's coming through in my ears. But my family was Valley Stream, Malvern, and Ronkonkoma. So
wow.
all around where she was, I mean, it was like listening to home. It was like feeling home.
Real.
It was strange.
Yeah.
Very strange.
My cousin's from Long Island too, so.
Well, there you go.
And your cousin's like, drink more water. And she looks at it.
Oh my God.
All about the love. So, Nicole, keep the faith. Keep going and work with your abilities. Learning to trust it and get some solid validation. Go, okay, there's an outcome, not just, oh, I'm hearing things and feeling it. What? They will set you up for success. And as strong as your cousin is, she doesn't take crap, man, but she is pleasant. So, here it goes. None of us want to hear what you need to hear. Love you.
Also, let me remind, www.pyramid1network.com. Get on that address. When you get on the address, click on the picture of the pyramids, and you will go over to the landing page, which you'll be able to see us on the video in the middle of the landing page tomorrow.
Okay.
So you can check everything you said. You can send it out to all your friends and say, hey, look, you got to come here every other Wednesday. They're there.
Your cousin's like, she will.
I knew somebody touched me on the shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. They're all over the place. Thank you, Nicole.
Another meaning to, well,
Thank
you've been
you.
touched all right.
God
Mentally.
bless.
Great. And see, that's what I love. This is a person calling in who had enough guts to call in and be on air and want the potential, because there's no guarantee, ladies and gentlemen. Like, if I get it, I give it. If not, I'm not making it up, or you wouldn't be tuning in if it's through cheesy generalities. But as Mary and I know, having that cultivated trust, having enough of our life experience to go, this usually equates with that, and this is equating with here, so that we have kind of a gauge on what we're doing, where we're going, and how we're doing it. It's a lot more relaxed, a lot more powerful, and a lot more clear for myself. Mary, same with you?
Absolutely, Jamie. I enjoyed the laughter that we had on that call with Nicole.
Yeah. And when you can have that from a tragedy, as we perceive it in that way, to just communication has changed her whole perspective. I've seen that change people's lives to go, there's no way you could know that, except we know it. A little more validating. Yeah,
Hi,
let's take another call,
all
please.
right, we got another one. Who's on the line right now from 516?
Hi, I'm Lauren.
Lauren?
Hey, Lauren, what's
Lauren.
that music? I like that. Or was I just hearing it in my head? Woo! Lauren, what's up, kiddo? How can we be of service to you? You want to speak to Mary?
I was wondering if I can contact my cousin who passed away.
At the moment, I'm not getting a push. Mary, are you getting something?
I'm not, but I'm concerned about the way that question was asked. Lauren, you want to contact your cousin who passed away. Are you asking what you need to do to get a sign or a signal from the cousin who passed? You want this.
I was actually just wondering if you had anything to say or just, any messages to give me or any advice or anything, really.
Well, I think that you're asking, there will be a message that comes through to you directly. Maybe not through Jamie, maybe not through the show, but I have something that I look for all the time, and I call it the Profound Psychic Experience, or the PPE. And I believe that this cousin of yours will allow you to have that PPE experience, at least sometime soon. I don't know how it will happen, maybe a dream, but I think that I just felt like there was a door opening between you and the cousin. I'm not getting anything on the cousin, but yes, I'm getting something very strong about you and your energy to pull that in. So I wish you a PPE. Jamie, do you have any?
Yeah, and it's not easy, but you were saying, well, is there any guidance as well? But you're starting to find yourself within life again. They make me feel like, make sure that you're being true to yourself. You'll always be good for others, but you've got to trust yourself and what you're feeling. Okay, and even though I know everyone's amazing in your life and it's all fantastic, for some reason, whoever this cousin is, vibes with, just potentially, if you don't have somebody in there already, there's a very strong potential for this to happen. And that is, whomever it is either saying one thing and they can't quite add up to what they're saying, or they're saying one thing and they don't intend on adding up. And if you haven't been offered an opportunity work-wise, Lauren, like in the past 6 months or sooner, doesn't mean you have to choose it, but if you haven't been offered that, whether it's more responsibility, another area, another capacity, or literally another job outside of whatever it is you're doing, it will, like a 99% chance, be offered if it hasn't already. Have you had an opportunity in the past, 4 or 6 months or sooner?
No.
Okay, coming up. And just because it's, again, offered doesn't mean you have to choose it. But they make me feel like things are happening and someone's thinking about moving, or unless they have.
I'm not sure.
That's okay. You'll have it on record. What are you getting, Mary?
Well, I think that this is a very interesting call, because I think the call here is more to demonstrate the type of feedback that you get. So have you been offered a job? Are you moving? And Lauren is saying no and no. Lauren, a lot of times you get sort of a residual effect after these readings, and 2 days from now you may hit your forehead and say, oh, that's right, I remember that. Or the move comes along and surprises you, and all of a sudden that you tap back. There is no time in this spirituality thing. So I just would love to stay in touch with you, because I think that this call is all about potentials and reading the potential field here, almost more than being able to reach across and get a message or a sign from the cousin. This is you sort of asking you to open the doors and to watch for the energies that are soon to be present, if not present already and you haven't recognized them yet. Very interesting. I'm just sort of getting a flat feel, and
That's the thing.
doesn't normally happen.
So I'm like, I'm not going to make crap up. If I don't get it, I'm not going to say it. That's the point. We love you, but here it is. Sometimes they'll have you do it yourself to go, see those people? Well, then you do it directly, because I kind of feel like that's how your cousin is. Like, but we don't need the secondhand stuff. They want a firsthand connection. And that cousin, whoever they are, will pay you a visit. I don't know if you heard me with the other guest, or the call-in, but that the difference between a dream and a visit is the clarity. A visit will be ingrained in your soul. You'll remember it for the rest of your life. You won't have to write it down. So if you haven't had that since your cousin's graduated, and if they're not fairly recent as well, like in the past couple of years or sooner, they kind of vibe where it's sooner than that. When did this person pass?
He passed away in April of 2018.
Okay, that's a year or less. That's decent.
See, I said it was recent. Yeah. Yeah,
and Bob was like, hey, he was picking up, is there a recent? I think that was it. And it's like, yep, you got it.
Also, if she wants to get in touch with Mary, all she has to do is write me. She just writes bobcharlesshow@live.com. When she writes me, I will forward it right over to Mary, and then Mary can connect with you.
Perfect. I would like to hear, Lauren, if you care to share what will happen to you in the next month or two, if you care to share it with us.
Can you repeat that, please?
In the next month or two, as these energy possibilities present themselves to you, if you care to keep in touch with either me or Jamie, would love to know how this cousin chooses to come through to you. If you move, or if you are familiar with other people moving, or if you take a new job or are offered a new job, please let us know.
And
I definitely will.
Good.
Not that we're always right, but sometimes, I'll give information and the person will be like, sure, right. I'm like, no, I could certainly be wrong. I guess we'll see. They usually end up calling back going, what else you got to say? Because I thought you were full of it, and all that stuff happened. So if and when some of those things happen, your cousin will get the credit, as well as us using our natural abilities, psychic and mediumship at the same time. And your cousin appreciates that we're not just throwing crap out there. Like, I'd love to do it. I don't know. Can't. I'm not going to do it. Does that help you some?
Yes.
Okay. Lauren, thank you very much for calling. I appreciate that. And definitely, please keep us posted. We'd love to kind of have fun along the way and see what happens.
Oh, I'll definitely keep in contact with you guys, and thank you.
Awesome. You got it. It's all about the love. Hang in there.
Later.
Mary, how can the listeners and the viewers get in touch with you?
www.marylholdeneditor.com is the best way. And Jamie, how about you? Getting in touch with you?
Yeah, the same. It's jamieclark.net. Check it out. We've got all the information there. And, Mary and I are going to do another show together, because we've had a great conversation, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. I'm aware of some of the studies and things that she's doing, and it's like, ooh, those are right along the dynamics of what I'm doing. And same person, similar people, like exactly. That's why we do this enough to go, quantifiably is proven. Whether you accept it as your reality or not is a different story. It's like, no, electricity is scientifically proven. There are people out there that do not use that. Good. Does that work for you? Great. Whatever works for you. There's as many roads to the big guy as there are people. Uniquely your own.
Well, there you go. Mary, any other place that we can get in touch with you other than that address?
www.news72media.com. Thank you.
That was the other one. And just in case, if you're afraid reading or you forget something or something, when you're on the website, you will see bobcharlesshow@live.com. If you write me and tell me who you would like to talk to, I will forward any mail, anytime, anywhere. So it's very, very simple to do that. Just channel them right out. I'm channeling. Ooh.
I was just going to say that. Yep.
Look, I know, way ahead of you.
What channel you on, brother?
Yeah, right. Now you guys just stay right there. Don't move. I will move you. How's that? Is that cool?
Mary, talk to you
We got
soon.
some good stuff
Love you.
coming down. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you know what? He's not going to be here next week. He's going to be here the week after. However, next week I will be talking to Singapore. There's a doctor, a PhD, that's written 42 books about things like Weng Shui and psychic and a whole bunch of stuff that's going to knock everybody out their socks completely right off. Some of the words I can't even pronounce of what this guy is going to talk about. So it's going to be unbelievable. You guys think you're having a good time now? Wait, it's going to get a lot better. I want to remind all you people, God bless y'all. Bob Charles,